Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dream Call or Recording. So in order to be successful with doTERRA, there's a few different things that need to happen. Number one is that you need to be able to share oils with people and teach them about them effectively and help connect them with how to get their own membership and how to use the loyalty rewards program. It's really important that people really understand how to use them and that they're getting the results that they are looking for so that they can continue to use them, and that we're teaching them about the loyalty rewards program, which is really the best way for them to purchase. Because if they're going to be purchasing on a regular basis, then they need to know that there's rewards for that they can get shipping rewards points, that they can get loyalty rewards points, and how to redeem those. That's really important, just customer service for those people. And it's also really important for your business in order to create the residual income that most of us are looking for. We need to educate people on that. And as we do that, as we put the time and the effort into people and really helping them, that in the long run, it will pay off for us financially because they will continue to make those purchases. So we have over 77,000 customers and wellness advocates now. And if 65% of those are purchasing on a regular basis, that's where our income comes from. Did that start that way? No, it started with nothing. And I remember just looking at my check yesterday, the very first one. And it was probably like $17. And it was like this forever. And then it just started gradually going up. But if you put in the time and the effort, that it will pay off in the long run, not just for you, but for them, because their lives will be completely changed as far as the empowerment and the tools that they have in their home and the confidence that brings to families. So aside from that, the oil aspect is also the business aspect, because if we are trying to make an impact, there's only so much time that we're able to put into it. But if we're able to train and teach others to do what we're doing, now we have this team of people who are doing what we're doing, and we're impacting more people, hundreds, thousands, millions of people that way. And so in order to really be successful, we do need to create a team. And so strategy when you get started is that you should be enrolling a few customers and then also enrolling 1 to 2 business partners, people who are going to be doing what you're doing, and then taking on a third so that you have 3 people that you're structuring for different ranks, because you have 3 people, and then eventually you're going to take on a 4th to reach the rank of diamond and beyond. And my goal is for you to be able to reach diamond, because I know that provides the income that frees you up from some of the struggles that we face financially and allows us to serve and give in greater ways. And then with that, if my goal for you is diamond, then hopefully for you, that for your leaders, you want that same thing, and that it will continue to perpetuate in that way. And so we're going to talk about some of the things that we need to know in order to approach people about the business and be successful at that. It's just like with the oils, there's certain things that we need to know about oils in order to share them with others, to teach people about them so that they can get a good experience, and then also connect them with resources that they can use, like a book, in order to be successful using the oils and not always having to come to you. So it's the same thing with the business. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And we are going to go, how do I move this out of my way? So that you can understand some of the components that are really important in order to talk to friends, family, people about the business and do it effectively. We need to understand the idea of residual income. And so in the build guide that we have, which you can download at doTERRA.com. If you look under Empower Success, you can download that, or you should have received a copy of it. I always use a build guide when I'm talking to people about the business. I just like having it there. I don't necessarily use all components of it, but I know all of it in and out. And this story, I have not found anything better to be able to help people understand about residual income. The idea of, and I know all of you have heard it, so I'll quickly go through it, but why it's important to share with people and why you need to be able to just tell this story over and over and over again. Number one, a story paints a picture, it paints a visual, and people can understand things better through stories. And so the idea of this man who lived in this village, and there wasn't a water source, right there is painting a picture for people. They're picturing this guy. He doesn't have a water source. He's hauling buckets back and forth, and they can kind of feel the weight of that, having to do that day in and day out. But then also realizing like how smart he was to create a business that he wasn't just providing for his family, but now he's created a business where he's providing water, a great service for people because they need it. And there might be people who aren't physically capable of doing what he's doing. So he's providing a great service, but he's getting paid for it, and it's providing for his family. But over time, he becomes weary and thinking how long and how many years in his life could he actually do that? Could he physically haul those buckets? And what's the wear and the tear and the time that he's away from his family? And maybe this isn't just like his higher calling in life, but he's doing it, and he's doing something that is providing for his family. But then he realizes that if he is able to take just a small amount of that income that comes in and some extra time, that he starts digging this pipeline, that over time he's able to build a pipeline where he can turn on the spigot and that water will flow. And that water represents the income that can come to him. And so people now can line up at his spigot and get water that's cleaner, fresher, faster right there. And he doesn't have to haul buckets back and forth. And nobody else needs to be hauling the buckets either. But he's getting paid over and over and over again for the work that he did in the past. And so that idea of residual income is really impactful because most people do not have sources of residual income. And so, I go through these topics when I do a business overview with people. This idea of residual income, that most people are employed, and so they have a job and they're trading their time for money. So I'm going to work, I'm putting in this amount of time and effort, and that I get paid this amount of money. And that's 95% of the population. That's most of us. That's what we do. That's what we're taught in schools. And it is valuable to be able to have a job and provide for those needs. Except for nobody gets wealthy doing this. And maybe your goal isn't to get wealthy. But my goal in life is to bring in money so that I can do more good. And so if just having a job just brings in enough for me and my family and maybe a little extra, that limits the amount of good that I can do. And so if I can jump up into where wealth is being created and I can turn that wealth into good, where I'm able to invest in you, where I'm able to invest in other people or ideas or businesses, if I'm able to give to the poor, help them to lift themselves out of poverty, then that's awesome. And so this is what is really creating. So when I say wealth, to me, that means that we're able to create more good. And so a different way to create income is this idea of residual income, where we're not trading our time for money. And in fact, with creating residual income, at first, you're putting a lot more time in it than you are getting money back. So with a job, what's nice about that is that if I go to work for 4 hours, I'm going to get paid for those 4 hours. If your boss is has integrity, he pays you, right? With residual income, there's not necessarily a guarantee you're going to get paid. And most of the time, you're not getting paid anything at first. And so that's oftentimes how we feel in doTERRA as we're creating residual income, is that we're putting a lot more time into it than we're getting paid. So if you're thinking about the man digging the pipeline, he is not getting paid for any of his work. In fact, he's putting money and time into it. So he's kind of going into a hole in a sense, but he has this hope that this is what it's going to create. He's so confident that this is what's going to happen that he's willing to put in the time and the effort to do that. And that's what we do as we're trying to create residual income, is that we're using our time, but we're also using our resources. So it might be a little bit of income, it might be tools, it might be systems to create income. And business owners, only 5% of the population, 95% of the wealth is found with those who are creating residual income. So our story was, pretty much similar to most of yours. Have gone through different financial struggles. My husband teaches religious education and makes enough money to provide for our needs. But there wasn't always a lot left over. And, trying to work our way out of debt, try to pay off our home, trying to just be good stewards of our money. It just always felt like, if there was a catastrophe, like we'd be in big trouble. Even though we're trying to set money aside, for emergencies and be prepared for that. Like, it really is a struggle. And it wasn't until I watched a business overview that it opened my mind to this other way of creating income. And so this is something you really need to understand and you need to believe in order to be able to share that with other people. And so network marketing is a way of creating residual income. And how I like to explain it is basically that we are referring people to a product that we love. So for instance, it might be Amazon Prime. I love Amazon Prime. I've shared Amazon Prime, that service of getting your stuff shipped within 2 days through Amazon. I love it. And so I've told family, friends about it. Well, just imagine if every time I told one of my friends about this awesome service that I love and find great value from, that Amazon pays me like a referral fee. And that's how it is with doTERRA, that we get a referral fee. We get a 20% commission when we say, hey, I use oils. I love oils. They've been valuable to me. Here's how you can use them. Here's how you can get your own account and get oils. And when you do that and you help them, doTERRA pays you like a referral of 20%, that fast start bonus. However, if that's all you're focusing on is fast start bonuses, then it's like a job. I have to go out and teach someone. They have to enroll in order for me to get paid. And so with network marketing, how it starts building that residual income is, yes, you get the fast start bonus, you get that kind of commission, but then also every single time people purchase, so as they're using the loyalty rewards program or if they're making a standard order, that you're going to get a small percentage of that as a commission. And so that would be, let's say, Amazon Prime. Every time now my mom, she's got Prime, every time now she orders, if I receive just a small percentage of that order, every time she purchases, that creates residual income for me. And it's not like I have to do a whole lot to get my mom to purchase. Like, she just goes on and makes her purchases because it's easy for her to provide gifts and send them here and there and get the stuff that she needs, and it's convenient. So it's the same thing with doTERRA and oils, is that as people learn to use them and they're just ordering and they're providing the things that they need for their family, that you're getting a small percentage of that. It's like the spigot has been turned on and the water is flowing from the work that you did in the past. And so this is what you need to be able to explain to people, is this concept of residual income. And not only do you get paid on the work that you do and the people that you enroll, but then you've trained and helped other people do that same thing. And so those people that they enroll, you're getting paid a small percent, and so on and so forth. And so you're getting paid over and over again on the work that you do, but also on the work that you've done in investing in your leaders and helping them to know how to do this as well. And why is network marketing such a good business model? Well, a majority of people want to get referrals on products. They trust their friends and families more than they do a company. And so that's one of the reasons why doTERRA set this up as network marketing, is that they understood, yes, there needs to be education, that people need to understand how to use oils, but also that people trust their friends and family more than they do, the checkout person. And so if you are using oils and you're finding value and your family and friends are seeing that, or if you see a need and you're able to say, hey, well, this is what I've done for, this is what I'm using, and you're able to refer them to doTERRA, they trust that, and it's a much better business model than trusting a complete stranger. So why is network marketing awesome? Well, it's low cost. So if you think of different ways of creating residual income, you could do that by, I could buy a home and rent it out, and that rent would be the residual income. Well, first of all, you'd have to qualify for a loan, or you'd have to have enough money to pay for that, and there's a lot of upkeep in rentals, and so it's a high cost, high risk. With doTERRA, the risk is low. You're investing around $150 a month to create a multi-million-dollar business. So the investment is really low. You don't have to have a college education or a graduate degree or special doctoral something in order to be successful. In fact, you can make more than doctors, lawyers, some of these top professions who have gone to years and years of school and gone into a lot of debt. You can make more than they do by doing network marketing. And so really anyone can do this, and it's like a business in a box. The product is provided for you. You don't have to figure out an idea for a business. doTERRA does all that for you. They source the oils, they package the oils, they ship the oils, they take care of the tax and the collection of payments. They do all of that for us. And really all we need to do is be able to educate and connect people to the product. That's what we do. We're getting paid to be like marketers for doTERRA. And why it's such a good time to get involved is because healthcare is such a huge industry and it continues to grow. And especially in the United States, our health is getting worse. There's so many major chronic diseases, and it really has been stemming from lifestyle choices, people not making good lifestyle choices. And we can come in to a place where there's a need and helping educate people on making better lifestyle choices and doing things for your body that's going to support it in the long run. And so 84% of people are open to natural ways to take care of their health. And of those, over half are wanting to try essential oils. And it's our opportunity to be able to reach out and connect to those people who are open to natural things and who are already wanting to try oils. They just haven't connected with the right person. And so and these are things that we teach in class, but you need to understand why this is so much better than some of the things that people are doing. Is because they're safe. Like, I don't know how many people I know who have either been addicted to medications, who have had major side effects with medications, or they're just confused and they feel like they're going from one thing to the next thing and they're not finding a real solution. That we get an opportunity to connect them with something that really does help support their body. And as far as cost, the cost for people's health it may not be clear to you if you're not looking at all the costs that go into the traditional medical system. That when you go to the doctor, if you have insurance, that you may pay a $20 copay, but that's not the true cost. Because there are other costs that are being covered that you don't see through the insurance company. If you don't have insurance, it might get put on to taxpayers that end up paying for that. And how amazing is it if we can reduce costs overall by using things that are safe and simple within our homes, and that using the traditional healthcare system as more of a safety net for bigger things that may come along than for all these little things that we could take care of on our own. And so they really are pennies per dose. It costs, 65 cents to $1 to take care of ear infections versus for most people, what do? They either wait it out and think, oh, I'm a bad mom, or they dope them up with some Tylenol to help mask the pain while the infection is getting worse. Or they take them to a doctor and they pay the copay. They have to waste their time going there. And then most likely they're going to get an antibiotic. And that's great if it's a bacterial infection and it's the right antibiotic that's going to help with that. And it's not some viral infection. And then the havoc that those antibiotics can wreak on a body if we're not careful and providing like probiotics to help counter the killing of all the good bacteria that's in our gut from taking antibiotics, realizing that 65 cents to $1 in my home and it's supporting my body versus the other way, people don't know that. And we're connecting people with that and we're saving them time, we're saving them money. And we have to understand that this is what we're offering people. And so why doTERRA? Why are people choosing doTERRA? I think the proof is in the pudding. As doTERRA has grown and become the largest essential oil company in the world, and that where they're getting their supply of oils, these people trust doTERRA because they have treated them well. They're getting paid for the crops that they are providing for us, that they are providing education, that they're working with researchers and hospitals and helping this to become more mainstream. That's why people are trusting doTERRA. And the reason it all happened is because of doTERRA's quality. From day one, that's what the owners wanted to supply to us, is certified pure therapeutic grade, which is basically telling us that we are getting something that is potent and that is effective and that is pure, that they are not going to change it, alter it, take components out of this plant or that plant to mix something up. They're going to just take it from nature and let our bodies do what it does with these plants. Again, proof is in the pudding, like how quickly this has grown. It's been equal to that of Apple in the first 7 years. That it's the fastest network marketing company to reach the $1 billion mark. It is a multi-billion-dollar company now. And so that can bring confidence to what you're joining. This is not just a little startup now or some experiment. And people all over the world are getting results from the oils, and that's why they continue to purchase. And that's why we have that retention rate of 65%, is because of the quality of the essential oils. And this really is unheard of in most network marketing companies. The retention rate is below 10%. That means if I were to teach and enroll 100 people in doTERRA, 65% of those people will continue to purchase every 1 to 3 months. In another network marketing company, if I were to put in the same time and effort and I enrolled 100 people, less than 10 of those people would make a purchase once a year. And that's how they measure their retention rate. And so as far as a good business decision, if someone were looking into going into network marketing, that this is a no-brainer, because you're going to put in the same amount of time and effort, but you're going to get a far different result from doTERRA as far as creating residual income over the long run than if you were to do it with another company. And the reason is because people are getting results from the oils. It's changing their lives. It's changing the way that they take care of their health. And that is super valuable to people. And so why now? Why would you recommend people get involved right now? Well, it's easy to continue to put things off when time is better, when I have more time. When school's out for the kids, but then school's out and you're busy with that. Oh, back when school gets in, but oh no, now I'm all involved in this and that, or I'm sick. Like, now is a good time. It's just like if you would have started saving $20 a month when you were 10 years old, think of the amount of residual income you could have if that were invested over time. It's the same thing with doTERRA. The sooner that you start, the sooner you start creating that residual income, because it does take time. And so they've done, studies like people who have put away money for retirement. If you start at 20 versus if you start at 40 and you're doing the same amount of effort, you're going to get a far different result if you're starting earlier. So now is a good time. There's the demand, and it's a great time to make that investment. And then also helping people understand that we have the tools that you need and support and the training, that it's not going to just be provided by me, that there's tools through doTERRA to learn about oils, to learn about how to share with other people, how to launch your business, and then ongoing training and support. And so that's what I share with people in my business overview, and it depends on what their needs are. So just like with an oil class where you ask, well, what are your goals? What are the things that are top of mind for them as far as their health, emotional and physical health? It might be for them or for their family. It's the same thing that we do at the beginning of doing a business overview, is finding out, well, what are your financial goals? What are your struggles, your concerns? What's top of mind? And you have a list of things that are important to them. Because somebody might come in open to doTERRA because they just want to make more of a contribution. You might have a stay-at-home mom who maybe just wants to be more prepared. What happens if her spouse dies? What happens if he loses his job? What happens if there is a divorce? I see this all around me. I see women who are struggling because they haven't taken the responsibility to be able to provide for their family, even if their family is being provided now by a spouse. And the same thing for men. Like, you might have a job that is a good job and it pays now, but you could get laid off. Things could happen. You could get sick. Maybe you don't love what you're doing and you want to do something that creates more impact. But that's what you need to find out from people, is where they're at right now with, like, financially, and their family and their goals and their dreams, and if they're on track to meeting those, and just so that you understand how you can tailor what you're teaching them from the business overview. So when I'm in person, let me move over to sharing this other screen. Which one is it? Sorry, I think it's this one. Okay. So in the build guide, it is your responsibility to know what is in this. There is enough trainings. You can Google it. You can go on Essential or on doTERRA.com under doTERRA University. If you go, let's see, on doTERRA.com, if you go under Our Advocates and then doTERRA University, there are additional trainings for living, sharing, and building doTERRA. And if you click on Building doTERRA, it has supports for getting started. It has trainings on the compensation plan. It has on organizational structure, how to strategize, how to move people, how to teach classes, product claims, back office stuff, so you understand how to use your back office. This is your responsibility as a business owner to learn those things and to learn the ins and outs of the business overview. And so with this business overview, like I said, you need to be able to share that in a short way, this story of hauling buckets and building a pipeline to help people understand what we're doing with doTERRA. This kind of leads you through the business overview. And like I said, you don't have to use all components of it, but these are great things like, are you hauling buckets? Are you trading time for money? Are you limited in your advancement? Because you might have somebody that you're talking to that has a job, but they feel like they're stuck. Like I'm peaked out. Like I have to wait till the end of the year to get a 2% raise. And that doesn't even adjust for like inflation enough, right? Or that as kids are growing older and things are getting more expensive, that people are starting to fall behind. And so helping to find out where they're at, so it leads you into that question. And then why is doTERRA such a great company to be with? And you need to understand these different concepts that are in the business overview. You may not share all of them. You might just touch upon one or two of them, but you need to know them as a business owner. You need to understand them. Some people may connect with the idea of how doTERRA is caring and sharing in a sustainable source of essential oils. Because there are people like, that's what they gravitate towards. They want to be with a company or do something that is impactful, that is changing lives, not just right here, but everywhere. And so it is your responsibility to go through and make sure that you understand all these components about it. If you don't understand what that means, like I don't get, why is this doTERRA's growth, why is that even important? Then reach out, because we can teach you why that is important. You might be talking to somebody who is in the business realm, and they know that industry experience is a huge reason why people fail in business, is because they don't have the experience. And if they understand that owners of doTERRA have over 150 years of combined experience because they've been working in network marketing or they've been working in essential oils, that these are top people within this industry. And that's part of the reason why they have been so successful in leading this cause to move forward. So it's your responsibility to understand these different things. If you don't, you need to research it. You need to reach out and figure that out. In here, then you're leading people to a simple of what we do. We use essential oils. Number 2 is share essential oils, and then we teach people how to use essential oils, and we just connect them to doTERRA. And then we have all the resources available for them. Again, it is your responsibility to know the compensation plan. So there are compensation plan videos, and I had to watch them over and over and over again to get it. Like it took a while for it to sink in, for me to understand not just how I got paid, okay, fast start bonus, and then okay, this power of 3 thing, I get it. Oh, what's that 5? No, the 600, like it's 3. I had to go through it like several times and ask lots of questions of my upline. And I felt like I was asking the same questions over and over again. That's okay. You need to understand it. For those who are new, you need to understand what these first ranks are. What is an elite? What does 3,000 in overall volume mean? What is a premier? How do I structure for premier? And how do I move people? You need to know how to do those things, and you need to take that on as your responsibility to understand it for yourself so that you can explain it to others. So as far as you get extra bonuses, and on this next page, it gives you the different bonuses. I walk through these different bonuses with people, depending on how much, if there's somebody that wants more information or less information, fast start bonuses. I explain how you get paid on that. The power of 3 bonus, how you start creating this team, and you get these extra bonuses for creating a team. And then over time, how you create residual income, that unilevel bonus. where you're not getting paid a huge percent, but you're getting paid on a little bit of everyone. And over time, that adds up. And then there's some leadership bonuses. You need to understand what these are so that you can explain it to somebody who might only want a little bit of detail, but then you might have somebody else who wants a lot more detail. And over time, as you give more of these business overviews, you will get better at them. You'll learn like, oh, I need to learn this, or I forgot that. You will get better at them over time. And the ultimate thing is that we're helping people change their lives through the business, right? And I just want to say, I looked at these this morning of the different ways that they impact our lives, and every single one, our lives have been impacted. We're debt-free. We have tremendous amounts in savings, that we have that financial freedom that has given us the opportunity to give back more, that we contribute a lot to a lot of people. It's given us time freedom. Like, I'm able to go and see all my daughter's volleyball games, which often are out of state, where 10 years ago, that wouldn't have been the case. She wouldn't have been able to have that opportunity, or my sons in their different activities. They wouldn't have had those opportunities, and I wouldn't have been able to be there. And my husband, especially, he does have a job. Like, he feels the lack of time freedom because of that. But I have that time freedom, and that we're able to build these dreams that didn't ever seem like they would come to fruition. So we're helping to develop land down in St. George and create this development where people can come in, and we'll be at a lake, and they're able to disconnect from the world and kind of reconnect with themselves. And we're able to be a part of this development, like these dreams that, like I said, 10 years ago would have never even been a consideration, because we were just trying to make ends meet. Definitely self-improvement as you're going through this process of building your business, it really is building you, because you're going to have to learn things that you didn't know. You're going to have to develop skills that you didn't have. You're going to have to change your mindset in ways that you didn't even know were holding you back. And that's all self-improvement. So besides the financial income and the impact that you're able to contribute to others, your life, you will be changed forever. And that is something that comes along with the doTERRA business. Financial planning and preparedness, being good stewards, definitely. We're able to travel, get additional education for ourselves and others, be able to pay when I need to learn something, that I can pay to learn it. I can go to a conference, I can fly to do this or learn that, or buy that book. It gives me the opportunity for that, and to provide service and spending more time with my family, because I have that time freedom, financial freedom. A lot of what we do is together as a family, even in the business. So my son and my daughters, they help out in the business. So one of my sons, he does the shipping. And so like last night, after his homework was done, he's in on getting the things that we need to get shipped out to people and getting those all prepared. And he's learning new skills, and we're working together, and he's getting experience and income from that. And so it provides time together, not just sitting on a beach together, but being able to work together. So there's just so many valuable things that come from doing this as a business. And this is what you need to be able to present and share with others powerfully. Now, as you're new, the best way to do that would be one of two things. One would be through a 3-way call or a 3-way interaction. So you're setting it up with your friend, but you're bringing your upline in to actually teach this. I love doing this for downline. I love when I get a call from Adrienne and say, hey, can we set up a 3-way call with so-and-so? And she's done the pre-work, she's prepped, she knows what their situation is, can tell me about that, and we can just jump right in. And I can be a second witness to things that Adrienne has already shared or another leader has already shared. And because I've done it so much, it comes through very powerfully. But then also Adrienne or whoever else is on that call or in that meeting, they're learning from the things that I'm saying. And then they're doing that same thing with their people, that they are doing more business overviews, gaining more confidence in what they're sharing, and they just get better and better results. And so one, you can set that up and have upline doing these business overviews with you, so you're learning, but you're having them do them. You could have somebody watch a business overview, a video, and you're following up with that. So somebody else is teaching them on that video, and you're following up with them. And then ultimately the most powerful is when you are able and feel confident enough to approach somebody with the business. And I tell you, the first year of doing business overviews for me was Like horrible in the sense of I didn't feel very confident in it, and it wasn't very structured. We didn't even have like a business overview. It was like, what does people need to know about the business in order for them to want to do this? And so I just kind of drew up an outline of things that I wanted to share that were powerful for me and would share them with people. And I didn't know the compensation plan very well, but I knew it well enough. It was just like the same thing with oils. Like I wasn't an expert. I wasn't a doctor. I wasn't a researcher, but I knew enough. And so you want to get to where you know enough that you can share the business effectively with people. And over time, you're going to get really, really good at it. And your results will get better and better. But know that you can use your upline as resources or a video as a resource as a help to do that. But in order to create this team, you have to be doing business overviews. Like people have to understand that this is an opportunity for them, that this is a chance to do something special, and that you can be the one that brings them that information and lets them make the choice of, do I want to do this with my friend? Do we want to partner up and do this? And there's something powerful about you approaching a friend or a family member and saying, hey, this may or may not be for you, but will you take a look at this? This is what I'm doing, and I would love to work with you, but there's no obligation. But will you listen? Will you let me just share with you what I'm doing? And that's my challenge to you, is that not only are you focusing on teaching people how to use oils, but that you will make a separate list of 20 people, at least 20 people who you want to share this business with. And that you will start preparing yourself, if you aren't already prepared to be able to do the business overviews yourself, that you will start preparing yourself to be able to do those yourself. But in the meantime, that you're setting up appointments with them and with your upline to either do 3-way calls or to do one-on-ones, meeting together or having them watch a video so that you can start building your team. Because in order to make a real impact, you have to have team members. You have to have others that you're doing this with. And it makes it so much more fun when you're working with people that you love and have common things going on together. So there you go. Have a awesome, awesome night.